bro, thanks for choosing this video. Welcome back to this channel, a haven for Chelsea news updates. This time, I present 12 Chelsea news stories on and off the pitch that you probably didn't know.
So, find a comfortable seat and grab a drink. And there's a message from Pedro Neto for those of you watching this video.
You subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I hope the number of likes reaches 300, because by liking this video, I'm even more motivated to provide as much news as possible, as interesting as possible for you. And finally, I wish you a happy viewing and a happy Monday.
Bro, this is terrible. Chelsea just lost 2-1 to Manchester United at Old Trafford, and then they were immediately trolled by Sevilla. Yes, Enzo Maresca's forward club went on Twitter. They only wrote 17 words, but they were as spicy as a chili pepper. We last won at Old Trafford 5 years ago than Chelsea, and we weren't even in the Premier League. Just imagine, bro. Chelsea's last win there was back in 2013, when Sir Alex Ferguson was still on the bench. Since then, 13 matches, 6 draws, and 7 losses. Meanwhile, teams like West Brom, Palace, West Ham, and even Sevilla have all come away with wins. It's crazy, right? After losing, they're being laughed at by their former manager's club. So my question is simple. Do you believe Maresca can break the Old Trafford curse this season, or will Chelsea continue to be the target of trolls?
Bro, you must be thinking Robert Sanchez will be out for a long time because of his red card against Manchester United, right? Hey, wait a minute. So Sanchez was sent off in the 5th minute after sweeping Bryan Mbeumo's side with a crazy tackle. Chelsea ended up losing 2-1 and everyone was immediately saying, wow, Sanchez is finished. But the reality was different, bro. He only received a 1-match ban, and that was in the Carabao Cup against Lincoln. Why? Because the offense was counted as denying a goal-scoring opportunity, not violent conduct. Violent conduct would only result in a 3-match suspension. So, Sanchez is free to return to the Premier League next week against Brighton. This means Philip Jorgensen, who is an emergency substitute, will only get a spot in the EFL Cup. After that, Sanchez is back in goal for the Blues. Do you think Chelsea should keep faith in Sanchez, or is it time to look for a new goalkeeper this winter?
Bro, Chelsea is back in the Carabao Cup. This time, they'll be visiting Lincoln City at LNER Stadium, also known as Sincil Bank. Kickoff is Tuesday, September 23rd at 7:45 p.m. UK time. So, for those asking, how do I watch? Here's a tip. The match will be live on Sky Sports Plus in the UK. For Chelsea fans who can't watch the match live, match highlights can be watched starting at midnight. Oh yeah, Enzo Maresca's press conference is also scheduled for Monday at 11 a.m. UK time and can be watched live or on demand on the official Chelsea app. So you'll have full coverage. The question is, will Maresca field a starting lineup or give the reserves a chance?
Crazy, bro. Chelsea's trials are getting tougher. Enzo Maresca just confirmed that Cole Palmer suffered another injury against Manchester United. Imagine, after just 20 minutes at Old Trafford, he had to be taken off due to an inner thigh muscle problem he'd been carrying since pre-season. Palmer was determined. He had a test the morning before the match and insisted on playing, and then he fell. And you know what? Without Palmer, Chelsea's attack was immediately blocked. Andre Santos came on, but United immediately took control of the game. That wasn't enough. Robert Sanchez was also sent off in the 5th minute. Playing almost 90 minutes with 10 men, Chelsea are clearly struggling. Now, Maresca is having a headache. Palmer is the key to the creative midfield. If he's out for a long time, Chelsea's tactics could be in disarray. Do you think Chelsea can survive without Palmer?
Chelsea will face Lincoln City in the EFL Cup Round 3 at LNER Stadium on Tuesday night, September 23rd at 7:45 p.m. Make no mistake, this isn't an easy match. Lincoln are in incredible form. They're unbeaten in their last 10 games. They currently sit 3rd in League One and just beat Lewin 3-1. As hosts, they're full of confidence against Chelsea. But on the other hand, Chelsea are limping. They just lost 2-1 to Manchester United due to a blunder by Sanchez, who received a red card in the 4th minute. Now that he's out, Philipp Jorgensen will be in goal. The big question is, can he perform consistently? So for the lineup, Chelsea's predicted lineup is Jorgensen, Gusto, Achiampong, Tosin, and Atto in defense. Caicedo and Andrey Santos will be in midfield, while Esteban Willian, Facundo Bonodot, Jamie Bino GN, and young striker Mark Guiu will be up front. And don't forget, there will likely be academy players and even a chance of starting Butrier. Maresca will likely make a significant rotation. Score prediction? I say Chelsea retains the quality advantage, 1-3 for the Blues. But if they play sloppy again like they did against Manchester United, don't be surprised if an upset occurs. Let me ask you, do you think Chelsea will progress smoothly, or will they end up embarrassing themselves against a League One team?
Bro, this is mind-boggling. Enzo Maresca said Garnacho is ready for start, but against Manchester United, the result? 0 minutes. After all, Garnacho was ready to come on, had already warmed up, and was even greeted with boos from the Old Trafford fans. But in the end, he was sent back to the bench, buried in his gray jacket. Maresca argued that Wesley Fofana had asked to be substituted, so the slot was free. But what's surprising is, why did Tyreek George start instead of Garnacho? Chelsea actually set a new record, bro, with the 3 quickest substitutions in the first 21 minutes of the Premier League. Isn't that crazy? It's a shame returning to Old Trafford and just being a spectator. My question, bro, does Maresca really have no faith in Garnacho, or is this just a defensive strategy?
Crazy, bro. The rumors just keep getting weirder. The last few days have been buzzing about Mykhailo Mudryk wanting to switch sports from football to athletics for the 2028 Olympics. They say the Chelsea winger is training with the Ukrainian sprint team. Seriously? Turns out the Ukrainian Athletics Federation immediately denied the rumor. They said no request has been received. Even the president was firm, saying there was no talk whatsoever about Mudryk becoming a runner. So it's clearly just a hoax, bro. The real problem is that Mudryk is currently suspended for doping. He's been frozen out since December 2024, and the number 10 shirt at Chelsea has been taken over by Palmer. It's pretty bitter, isn't it? He even hit 36.6 kilometers per hour on his debut against Liverpool, one of the fastest in the Premier League. The question now is, if he's actually banned from football, do you think Mudryk would be better suited to returning to the field, or actually turning his attention to track and field?
Crazy, bro. This time it wasn't the fans or the media who were talking, but Trevoh Chalobah himself. After the loss, he spoke out and said bluntly, "That's the key. We have to start the game right. Don't wait until we're 2-0 up before we go all out." Wow, it sounds simple, but it's so profound, bro. Chalobah seemed to be mocking Enzo Maresca's tactics, who loved to play patiently, passing sideways until the opponent had already gone all out. The result? Chelsea always reacted late, only showing their game when they were already behind. What made me respect him even more was that Chalobah didn't blame anyone. Instead, he apologized to the fans. He said the performance was far from Chelsea's level, but he also emphasized the importance of learning, as the season is still long. The question is, bro, was this a mental issue with the players being slow to recover, or was it really Maresca's tactics that made Chelsea look slow? Bro, tomorrow night, Chelsea will play in the Carabao Cup against Lincoln, and the good news, 2 Argentine playmakers are ready to return to the starting 11. Alejandro Garnacho and Facundo Bonanote, who caused a stir yesterday by being left out of the match against United, now have the stage to show their quality. Enzo Maresca finally made the right decision, giving them rotation opportunities after the crazy schedule against Bayern and United made the team look completely exhausted. Just imagine, Palmer, João Pedro, Caicedo, Reece James, they all need a rest, bro. So this match against Lincoln is a perfect opportunity to give minutes to the younger players. In addition to Garnacho and Bonanote, Mark Guiu is also likely to make his debut after being recalled from his loan spell. The question is, can
can these youngsters provide a fresh solution for Chelsea before the big match against Brighton this weekend?
Bro, you'll be shocked to hear this. Jamie Carragher, who usually criticizes Chelsea, suddenly heaped praise on Enzo Maresca. He said the Italian manager has done a brilliant job since arriving at Stamford Bridge. Just last week, Carragher was furious because Maresca's tactics at Old Trafford were completely destroyed after Robert Sanchez was sent off. Now he's saying, I think the manager has actually done a brilliant job. What a plot twist, right? But make no mistake, Carragher still slipped in criticism. He said Chelsea couldn't possibly win the league with the current center backs and goalkeeper. He even made a crazy prediction. Chelsea would fail to advance from their Champions League group. So what do you think? Is Carragher being honest or just trying to be sensational?
Bruh, you'll be shocked to hear this. A football pundit said Chelsea's transfer decisions this summer were absolutely crackers, aka absolutely insane. Imagine, Levi Colwill was seriously injured, but Chelsea didn't even sign a new defender. Mark Guehi was there, worth just $40 million, just signing, and then they just passed him up. Jermaine Pennant said this was a huge blunder. Guehi was ready to leave, but ended up staying at Palace because Liverpool failed to land him. So the question is, why didn't Chelsea act faster? Now Jamie Carragher has also chimed in, saying Chelsea's problem lies in squad development, not just Maresca. So do you agree that Chelsea's transfer decisions this summer were a mess?
Bro, did you know the last time Chelsea played at Sinsel Bank was back before the Titanic sank? Yes, really. In 1910, Chelsea were held to a 0-0 draw at Lincoln, then thrashed 7-0 at Stamford Bridge. Crazy, right? Since then, Chelsea and Lincoln have only met in smaller competitions, even once against the U21s in the EFL Trophy. But still, for Lincoln, it was like the Champions League final. Now, Chelsea are back at Sinsel Bank in the Carabao Cup. For Maresca, it's a chance to rotate the squad, but for Lincoln, it's history. So the question is, can Lincoln spring a surprise against the Blues this time?